Romance anime is the hottest topic among young anime fans. However, one specific category catches every single weeb attention. Is the school's most popular girl falls in love with a normal boy. This fantasy world takes place in any setting, whether it can be school or office. The most demanding girl is ready to steal our loner MC's heart. So if you are into this, then sit back and enjoy the prime time. But before we start, make sure to hit that red subscribe button down below if you haven't already. We start off with Rail Wars, an over-the-top action-packed series with a good amount of fan service. However, don't put too much pressure on your brain, because even our MC hasn't put any effort in himself, looking for a steady job. Our MC Takayama is a normal guy, who applies at JNR to become a train driver, but life has some other plans for him. For untold reason, he had been pulled into a security program by default, where instead of being a train driver, he is now spending his life saving customers on an occasional run-up to the thread such as robberies, terrorist attack, and attempt kidnapping. If you have watched Baywatch, you know what I mean, right? Overall, the visuals are quite appealing and make you completely forget about the other plot holes. On number 9 we have 3D Kanojo. This anime is where we single weeb can relate to. Partially, our MC thinks living in a 2D world is way better than the reality, spending all his time playing video games, watching anime, and always hanging out with his other weeb friend Hikari. However, things changed when our MC got his own 3D girl. For a short period of time, Hiroha Igarashi is the school's most popular girl. She wants our MC to break his shells and experience the outside world. Thus begins the unusual yet awkward love story of an otaku nerd meeting a famous popular girl. Now our MC will be experiencing the feelings he never felt for anyone else before, unaware of the future. It's a beautiful story with joy and sadness to follow. On number 8 we have the quintessential quintuplets. After watching the second dose of this anime, one thing has been confirmed. This anime show needs to stop giving me false hope. After all, where do we get all these job openings? Poor second-year high school student Futaro Yusugi comes across a private tutoring job for a group of 5 sisters in a rich family. Not only 5 of them are overflow beauties, but also have a serious study issue that can only be taken care of by our MC. We better need to stay alert for the third sequel. If you are into these types of stories and looking for something even wild, here is a bonus recommendation from me. Private tutoring in these tough times. Don't need to thank me. Just liking the video and subscribing to the channel will do the job. Number 7 The Severing Crime Edge. Obsession can go beyond any human imagination. While some turn out to be quite understandable, where others turn out to be pretty weird, similar to which our protagonist has an obsession with cutting beautiful hair. This led him to spread rumors of a long-haired ghost. Turns out the ghost is none other than a beautiful girl flowing with long hair. Due to her family curse, she cannot cut her own hair, which adds a death game plot point to the story. That goes even wider with wish granted and killed of a cursed object. A holy mother of scissors is needed to cut the curse. Like, come on. Even though the series has many plot holes, still the story is decent and all the characters are enjoyable to watch. Number 6 Hatsukoi Limited. While once again not focusing on more of a logical stuff, we have another school rom-com focusing on young love, covering the romance story of a middle school and high school student in a short story format. Each episode focuses on an individual story. Tell us the story of 10 teenage girls from several schools, exploring their first love and learning how it affects each individual towards their adulthood. However, each story plays a very minor role in the other person's story. Beyond the school setting, the story mainly focuses from a girl's perspective and mixes a little drama into it, touching various topics such as unconditional love. Overall, this show did a great job balancing comedy and romance together. Number 5 12 Sai. Romance is such a pure feeling. Can happen to anyone regardless of age and gender, arriving at the age of innocence. Our female lead Ayase Hanabi is a 12-year-old normal schoolgirl. She deals with an issue such as accidentally witnessing her homeroom teacher kissing one of her classmates, watching that raises many physiological questions for her, because Ayase is a little devilish by nature and doesn't appreciate the opposite gender. From that moment onwards, her point of view starts to change. She soon fell head over to our MC Kazuma Hiyama. Now as Isa hits her puberty, the bonding between both started to grow stronger by staying with each other. This show is super cute and enjoyable to watch, especially since it comes from the romantic relationship of a 12-year-old schoolgirl, in a pure manner.
でも完璧にできるように頑張るんだろ。
あったぼうよ。
早瀬はそういうやつだよな。
Number 4, Good Job Club. School club anime were the main theme shows back in the days, where a bunch of teenagers living the best moments of their school life. There were many anime based on this theme. However, one entry that is not so often talked about is the Good Job Club, in which our MC Shinomiya Kiyoya called it pure luck. Some of his female classmates kidnap him and force him to become a member of their school club, the home of all miscellaneous activities, led by the short yet sassy Mao Kiyoya and other female members. The club is always on the run to do something new every single day, and our MC is a sole male among the group of 5. The show is definitely a lovable rom-com to watch. However, it's getting weirder from time to time. Makes it a perfect dose of laughter. Number 3, Witchcraft Works. An average high schooler Takamiya living his average life had a one-sided crush on one of his classmates, Ayaka. Both haven't spoken a single word despite sitting next to each other. Things take a fantasy turn when our MC faces a Grim Reaper. Before getting a hang of the current situation, our MC is sent into another dimension in the blink of an eye. In order to save his broken ass, Ayaka comes to rescue him in the form of a flying witch. Now our MC's only concern is the school's most popular girl, who is loved by both boys and girls, is on the mission to protect him. From that day onwards, the normal days of our MC are far away from reality. This entry would be a nice fit to those who like to experience a little bit of everything. For action romance suckers, it's a must-watch. On number 2, we have Akami-san and her 7 companions. Akami Ryoko is rough and tough waifu for this list. Consider it a taller version of Teiga. She is tall and speaks in a traditionally masculine way, very confident in her fighting skills. Where her best friend Akai Ringo, flat chest, low-pitched voice girl. Both are members of Otogi Bank and Otogi High School, a small loan bank for children to solve their temporary problem. For their line of work, they needed one more male member and decided to take in our MC Morino Ryaoshi. Just after he joins the club, our MC confesses his love to Akami. What comes next is quite an enjoyable rom-com story to begin. Takes deep dive into teenage life and gives us heartwarming feelings. The best part of this anime is watching the complicated and comedic interaction between Akami and Morino. Last on, we have one of the best anime of 2022, My Dress Up Darling. Before jumping into the conclusion, hear me out. The story is filled with fan service but still makes it a wholesome watch. Doesn't make any sense, right? Let me explain. High school student Wakana Gojo makes doll heads inspired by his grandpa. Knows nothing about the current generation trend. To him, Marin Kitagawa is always the center of attention, while both of them live a completely different life. One day our MC's hobby caught the female lead's attention. Taking things to the next level is the cosplay service offered by her. Our MC gets to experience the first-hand offering to it. With the end of the first season, fans are eagerly waiting for her next cosplay event. Let me know out of all the cosplay which is your favorite. Mine will be Shizuku-tan for obvious reasons. The anime where a popular girl falls in love with an unpopular guy is full of suspense and we never know what is gonna happen next. So if you are looking for something interesting and different, this anime list is something you may want to consider adding to your watch list. And that brings us to the end of today's video. If I miss some good ones, my comment section is always open for your suggestions. It's goodbye for now, but only until next time. Peace.